learn something new every freaking week in Yowamushi Pedal. I will say, this anime has taught me a lot about bike racing, and I'm interested to learn more. Just last week, I learned about the entire importance of having the proper shoes just to be able to pedal faster with your cadence. In this episode, they teach me another fact about blocking someone with your racing bike, and that's interesting. I've seen this type of stunt done in other live-action movies, but it's cool getting to actually see it and the strategy behind it, especially like Breakthrough, where they like push a person in front, letting him go full speed ahead while one person blocks the entire competition. A very simple strategy, but I can see how that can be very freaking strong and hard to overcome when you have something like this going on. I mean, when you're racing for days, from morning to sunrise and sundown, whatever, and you're tired and you're like behind hundreds of kilometers, you most likely are going to be tired compared to the person that's ahead of you just going at their normal pace and not really trying to rush. And that is exactly what happens this episode with Imaizumi, Naruko, and Onoda trying to catch up and actually get the most laps. Now, pretty much the entire 1,000 kilometers of who would be in the inter-high was completely dropped this episode, and the entire aspect of whoever gets the most laps will enter into the inter-high, which adds a stake and interesting turn of events this episode, and it makes it more entertaining, especially with some certain theme songs they added this episode that was actually brand new to the series, which I freaking love. Now, I got the intensity of this episode. There was a lot of intense tension with the characters, especially when you got Naruko just trying to get in front of the second years and trying to say, I'm a sprinter, and so he starts sprinting, and he realizes that freaking all day he was going his maximum, I mean literally going as hard as he can, and he's not in top shape like he is like the second year, so the second year easily gets past him and blocks him. And so, the second year basically announces to Imaizumi, oh, you're in a lead, aren't you? And I noticed something that was very interesting about the entire conversation. I don't know if a lot of people understood what the second year did to Naruko, Imaizumi, and Onoda. For instance, he said that he was an ordinary. He's not an elite, he's not special, and he's not the greatest racing biker. So, pretty much, what is his specialty? Why is he so good? And why is he overcoming Onoda, freaking Imaizumi, and Naruko? Well, the major reason is because he uses mind games, psychological mind games. I mean, he sat there and talked to Naruko and Imaizumi, talking, oh, you're the elite, and telling an entire backstory, which is good character development. I love how the second year actually got some good character development. We also found out more about Imaizumi. But still, what the entire aspect of that meant was pretty much trying to stall time for the second years to get ahead while he's not physically blocking them. You notice he wasn't blocking them. He's actually talking to them, getting them distracted, and so pretty much while he was talking distracted, he was trying to basically stop Naruko from being on sprinter ground to where he could go at his maximum speed and waited until they got to actually a hilltop like a climb. So, the entire way they use that aspect and use actual psychological warfare in this anime is interesting. I didn't expect to see something like that in this anime. Yowamushi Pedal is surprising me almost every week, and every time I think that this is a biking anime, I can't believe it. This anime is so entertaining, and it may not be original, but it is something that is just intense to watch, and usually a show and anime needs battling, but this ain't your standard type of battling. This is racing and just, I don't know, I get a good feel from this anime, and they managed to complement it well with the characters and the CGI they add in certain aspects when you see them going around curves and stuff. It really adds to the feel and atmosphere. Now, the music, as always, is good and complements the scenes, and just learning about racing so much in each episode is my enjoyment in this series. I mean, I'm not one that's going to go buy a bike and start racing, but getting to see from a standpoint and actually them integrating biker elements and explaining it to me to where I don't feel like I'm stupid, but at the same time they're explaining it in a way while giving character depth and allowing the characters to grow, makes you feel like you're growing with the characters you're watching, and it adds an interesting aspect to the series that I love to see. I mean, Onoda, when we first saw him, he was just a kid that loved racing, but he didn't realize how good he was. And we've come to find out for this entire course of the series, he's a lot better than he lets on, and pretty much, if he was to have the right equipment, the right shoes, the right bike, and just imagine, right now he's basically riding with a handicap. Imaizumi, Naruko, and Onoda are riding with handicaps. Onoda seems to have the most handicapped in this actual series. Right now in this race, pretty much he has freaking wheels that are like probably 2 or 3 times heavier than what he's normally used to, and that's pretty crazy. Imagine trying to haul that much weight up a freaking hilltop that like he usually uses with his cadence. That's gonna tire out anyone. So, my main aspect about this is Onoda seems to have the biggest handicap, and if he can actually overcome this and get extremely fast like he is now, he's going freaking fast to even keep up with Imaizumi and Naruko. So, if he's he's doing this well. Imagine if he takes off those tires and puts on the tires he normally used to use. Imagine how fast he would go. Now, let's look past that point. Imagine if he actually had cleats to be able to hold on to his pedals more, to be able to use his cadence. That's even crazier. So if he had both of these aspects, he would probably have been way ahead in first place in this episode and on all the laps, because he's just that freaking fast and that talented. He is definitely an elite, and he definitely deserves that title, and I expect some great things from his character. Yowamushi Pedal is one of my favorite anime of Monday, because I look forward to it every freaking week because it manages to shock me and teach me more new things. Well, everybody, this could be the end of my anime review on Yowamushi Pedal this week. Tell me what you think about this anime. Tell me what you think about all the information they bring to us every freaking week. You all are wonderful there and out wherever you live. Please stay safe. Chibi out.